This is the Metal Queens podcast. I'm Steve Richards, a show where we celebrate the fierce, fearless, and the phenomenal women making waves in rock and roll and metal. I'm Steve Richards. Today we're heading straight into the heart of New York City's electro-rock scene with an artist who's rewriting the rules of synth pop and rock fusion, from her debut at the iconic Whiskey A Go-Go opening for Orgy to sharing the stage with legends like the Motels, Sponge, Strange Days, and Missing Persons. She is on fire now. She's also teamed up with Italian producer Droidglow for her sleek single Lights Out and dropped stunning visuals with Vicente Cordero for both Lights Out and Drive. She has a couple of new singles out, Iridescent and also Take Me Away, which just came out in September. Welcome, Sarah Orloff, to the Metal Queens
Thank you so
podcast.
much.
It's
Thank you
great.
so much for having me. I'm
Yeah,
happy to be here.
it's great to have you here. So let's start at the beginning. What
Intro.
thanks. What drew you into the world of synth pop and electro rock in the first place?
Well, back as a kid, I remember going to this talent show. I was literally, I don't know if I was like 11, 12 years old. I went to my stepsister's talent show, and I remember this girl there dancing to a song, and it was called Blue Monday. And I absolutely loved that song by New Order.
Yeah. Oh,
Once
yeah.
I heard it, I was like, oh my God, I have to check this out. So even like from a young age, I just really vibed with that kind of music. From that talent show, then I was introduced, to some Depeche Mode, all those bands. Always had a love for like the 80s music, 80s new wave, and sometimes on the darker end of that, but that's what I tend to write and what I like to listen to. But I do like a lot of rock too. I started out in a pop punk band as a teenager, and I'm totally into rock, but I gravitate towards the synth pop, and that's what I'm writing and producing.
You are based in New York City. We were just talking about this before we
I'm
started
based in New
recording.
York City. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I'm right in Manhattan, right in Midtown. And, as I mentioned before, if you hear some sirens, that's why, because, they're right out my window.
how does that city's energy influence your songwriting and performance style?
I would say because there's always something going on, the neon lights, the electricity of the city. It's just like electric here. So a lot of the stuff that I'm writing, I'll be looking out at a neon sign, and I feel like all of that inspires me. Lights Out, for instance, it was just about a city scene and the lights are out and blah blah blah. So like I definitely get inspired from the city. Um and yeah, just living here so long now, I've been here for 17 years. It's just part of my writing.
Your debut show was at the Whiskey A Go-Go. What was
Yeah.
that like? Legendary place.
It was awesome. Like that was my debut show as a solo artist. Like I've played in bands before, but I had never played the whiskey in any of those bands. It was amazing just being up on that stage. It was just epic. I felt like, it was where so many legends have been up on the stage, and I was
Yeah.
just happy to be, in that company. And the sound, the lights there are just incredible. Like they have a great team doing all that, and they just like killed it. And, I opened for Orgy for that show. It was sold out. They had like a sold out crowd. They have a great local LA base. That's where they're from. So wasn't exposed to like a lot of people. So I was fortunate, that that was my first show. It was a good one.
You've worked with, as I mentioned in the introduction, Italian producer Droid Glow on Lights Out, which it has a
Yeah.
sleek and cinematic vibe to it. How did that collab come together across continents?
Yes, well, it came together. He found me on, like you had mentioned, online. You saw me through Instagram. Him the same. He liked my voice. So he had asked if I ever would want to sing on something. So I said, well, you know what? Send me some stuff. And if I feel like I can, come up with some lyrics or I'm vibing with it, totally down to do it. And I liked his stuff. I checked him out because I won't just do that with anybody. I have to actually like your vibe and like what you're doing in order to put my time and energy into it. But I thought he was great, really talented. So he sent me this instrumental, and right away, like I was playing it and I was already hearing like a chorus part. It just came to me really fast, where sometimes it doesn't. But with this one, it was like right away, I was hearing what the chorus should be. And yeah, so that's how it worked. I recorded those vocals in my little kitchen studio, which is right here behind me. I set up my microphone and that's how I did it. Just recorded it right here and I sent him the tracks, did a bunch of vocal takes, and he loved it. So that's how that all came about.
You've also teamed up with video producer Vicente Cordero for multiple music videos now. What's your
Yeah, a couple of
vision?
them.
Yeah, and what's your vision when it comes to visual storytelling? How do you connect the imagery to the emotion in your songs?
Um, I just want people to, when they see it, for it to create an emotion with them, whether it's, something bright and cinematic for Lights Out. We had, all the flashing lights and the red
Yeah.
lights of that, and we just wanted to create a vibe, just something that goes along with the song. Where Drive was more about, getting out of town, getting away from it all, taking that drive, where we didn't necessarily have a car in the video, but it was more, I was in LA walking around, like, looking out to the city skyline. So yeah, we just try to create, a cool feel that people want to watch and they, get a good feeling from it.
What kind of emotions or themes do you find yourself exploring most in your music?
Um, well, a lot of times I've had so many ideas, from different relationships with different people, people around me who are maybe going through something that, I just can feel for them with what they're going through. Um, or it's maybe a relationship I've been in, or being on the dating scene, maybe one encounter with somebody on a date might give me a whole idea for a song. For instance, one of my songs, Be Mine. I went on one date with somebody and I never saw them again. And that person inspired me to write that song. Like the idea just came to me. So I guess I'm like a Taylor Swift in a way sometimes, where different relationships or different encounters, like they're definitely inspiring me. And it's funny, just I'll just get an idea for, or sometimes I have a block where I have to sit down and actually, like if I have some music, actually figure out what is this going to be about? What is the theme of this? So sometimes it comes quicker than others, but
And
yeah,
sometimes after one date.
everything inspires me. But what did you say?
Sometimes after one date.
Oh yeah, one day and I never even saw the person. I won't tell them that they inspired me for that song if
Right.
I do encounter them. I'll keep that to myself. But, that was, an example of something that I write about.
All right. So you have a bunch of singles out now. Any plans, 2026 plans for an EP or an album, perhaps?
I have about 4 or 5 songs that I'm working on currently, and that is the next thought of mine, is maybe to release a 5-song EP in the coming year instead of doing so many singles. Because right now I just release a lot of singles. But yeah, I really have been thinking about doing that lately, and I think I'm going to stick to that plan. So be on the lookout for that. I do have a new song that I just got mastered that I want to release it this year. So maybe like end of November, beginning of December, you might hear a new one from me out.
All right. Now you've shared stages with some incredible acts like the Motels, Sponge, Strange Days, and Missing Persons. What have you learned from performing alongside artists who've helped define eras of alternative and synth-driven music too?
Just seeing them up on that stage and their fans going crazy for them and them just like, creating this energy in the crowd, really just inspired me. With all these fans, they just all are total pros up there. And some of them have been doing it for so many years, like years and years from the early 80s. A couple of these bands where I love that they're still doing it today. Like they're creating a vibe and they're lasting in people's minds where people still are paying for tickets to go see them. So that was really inspiring because I'd love to have a long career doing this too, where maybe, in 20 years, somebody might still want to hear a song that I'm writing and releasing. So yeah, it was really inspiring, really cool. And I love all that 80s synth pop stuff. So to play with like the missing persons, the motels, that was just like that was great.
Yeah,
I
sorry,
loved it.
you just played with the Motels in Agora Hills
Yeah,
this past August.
the Canyon. Yep, at the end of August, that was one of my last big shows, and they were great. It was so cool to open for them. I had some local friends and family come out because I do stay with some family out there in LA when I go. One of my favorite cousins is out there, and her and her girls came out, and they were rocking out, and it was just cool to have like a fan base out there too.
How do you see your sound evolving over the next year or so? More electronic, more rock, or a fusion of both?
I would say it's going to be more electronic. I don't really use any guitars in the stuff I'm writing. It's definitely synth based. Um, and I can see myself just still leaning towards that, even more so on the electronic side.
And
Rock,
plans?
yeah, I love rock music though, and I'm still gonna do some collabs. If people want to collab on things, totally down to do that. I actually just played bass in a music video for a rock band here in New York. So I do that occasionally too, where I'll step in and, play bass for somebody else. So
Dream collaboration for you? Who would that be with?
collaboration. Oh my God. I would probably say Madonna. I love her. I think that would be so fun to do something with her. But I also love like on the other end of that, like Nine Inch Nails. So they're one of my favorite bands too. But I would say Madonna. I think that would be so fun. I actually did a cover of her song Burnin' Up.
Mm,
That's one of my singles that's out, and that's like the one cover that I actually released. So if you like Madonna, check it out. Or if you,
bring it back
it's
memories of the 80s.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of like her first
Yeah.
songs that she released back in the day, living in New York City. And that's inspiring too, that she started here in this city and did, something similar.
I remember, this is going to show how old I am, but back in the 80s, going to the prom. I grew up on Long Island
Okay.
at the Plaza in New York City, and all the girls in the car, that first album had just come out, and they were cranking all those songs on
All the
cassette. It was on cassette
classics.
in the
I
limo,
remember
Sarah.
cassettes.
You just brought back memories. I can hear that song in my head now. They were
Yeah,
blasting that album the whole night.
that is so fun. I
Yeah.
love that song, Into the Groove or Get Into the Groove,
Yep.
that one,
Yep.
Into the Groove. All those songs are just so fun.
Yeah, it was one after another with her. Um, what is
You
your
probably
go
wanted to exit the limo before the end of the night with all those.
After a gig, you're playing a gig out in LA. What is your go-to comfort food after the gig?
Oh my God, I love pizza.
Mm.
Way into Italian food. Surprisingly, my dad is three-quarters Italian. I don't look it at all, but he makes all that good Italian food when I go upstate, where I'm originally from. And I've always loved like a chicken parm
Oh
hero
yeah. Oh
or
yeah.
pizza. Like those are definitely some of the stuff that I would eat. French fries, I love. So just like bad stuff. That's what I want to eat after the show.
Let me guess. When you're in
I don't
LA,
eat before. Like
right now
I
you can't eat
maybe a
before.
granola bar where I'm
Yeah.
like at that point, at the end of the night, I'm like starving. Or not. Sometimes I'm like, just from being up on stage and, being in that zone, like sometimes I can't even eat. So, but usually within an hour after, I'm ready for pizza.
Yeah. I'm guessing if you're in LA, maybe In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah, in and out. Well, I don't eat red meat or like beef. I do eat chicken, but I don't eat burgers. But I'll do what I did get out there the last time was just a bun with the cheese on it
Hmm.
with the lettuce and tomato. It was like, you know, the grilled cheese one.
Yes.
That was pretty
And
good.
the fries, of course.
Yeah, and the fries. And the fries. And of course, one of the nights we went to the Rainbow Room. That's where I got pizza.
Hmm.
And so good. I love always like popping in there after a show, especially at the whiskey, because it's walking distance.
Yeah.
Um, and it feels so like epic being in there, like sitting in the booth where like Guns N' Roses was hanging out. I love that spot.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of playing
Picture
shows,
Guns N' Roses on the wall
y-
over here,
you
by
have a
the way.
Guns N' Roses picture there?
I have a Guns N' Roses in a frame over here. They're sitting at Cantor's Deli. I think that's in LA.
Mm,
But
nice.
I thought it was a great photo for the kitchen, black and white. They're sitting in a little diner.
Very nice. All right. Speaking of playing shows, what's the plan next year? And viewers here can catch you at doing shows in LA and New York, right?
Yes,
Pretty much
yep.
on and off.
Yeah, I would say like every couple months I'll do like a big show. So either it'll be in New York or it'll be out in LA. Those are the typical spots I'm going back and forth to right now. I want to branch out though to some other towns. I have Nashville in my sights, Austin. My family, my mom and my brother live down in Miami, so even possibly something down in Florida at some point. But yeah, I'm definitely going to play at the Canyon again in 2026, the whiskey. So definitely keep an eye out. And I'm going to be booking a show at Arlene's Grocery, which is in the Lower East Side of
Yeah.
Manhattan. It's a great rock and roll bar. They have the best sound system there. So I love playing shows there. I put on actually a birthday party there, a couple times, like a birthday party show. And I might actually do that again this year in January.
All right. So follow Sarah Orloff on social media for
Yes.
updates on tour dates, updates on another single coming and more singles coming and possible EP next year
Yes.
as well. And check out her music too and her videos, her great videos on YouTube and subscribe to her channel. She's a rising star lighting up the electro rock world with her bold sound and fearless creativity. She is Sarah Orloff. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Metal Queens
Thank you so
podcast.
much for having me. It's been great.
Thank you. And thanks for watching. And like it, share it, subscribe to it, write a review. This is the Metal Queens podcast. Till next time, I'm Steve Richards. Thanks for watching.